to them. And we'll take one more cleansing breath. So inhaling through the nose, big exhale through the mouth. Good. The next time you inhale, sweep your arms out to the side and up, lifting your chin slightly. As you exhale, bring the hands together, big heavy sigh. Good. Do that one more time. Inhale, sweep up, lift your chin. Exhale, big heavy sigh, hands to heart center. Good. Inhale, reaching up. Take a steeple grip over your head. Lengthen both sides of the trunk, and then go ahead and tip to the left side. So you're starting to notice that length into the right side of the trunk. So keeping with that notion or concept of awareness around the spine, notice how when we move into different poses in yoga that we try to move in all directions that our spine goes in. Come back to center and lengthen, sit tall. Use your exhale to tip to the right side this time. So we're working on that side to side bending now. Coming back to center, lifting upward. And then as you exhale, go ahead and release your hands down. Walk the hands forward and come into a forward fold. So create rounding in the spine now. So we did side to side bending. Now we're looking for a little C shape in the spine. And go ahead and walk your hands over to the right side. Once again, lengthening the left side of the trunk, walking through the center, and make your way over to the second side. Pausing briefly there. And then walking back through the center. This time we'll hold over on the right side. Think about that length coming all the way down to the left hip. Relaxing through the head and neck. Walking back through the center, maybe lengthening further, reaching into the fingertips, relaxing the back of the neck. And then making your way over to the second side, pausing here, sending that length all the way down into the right side of the hip. Or the right hip. Good. Coming back to center. Inhale and draw your trunk up. Keep your hands on either side of your hips. Go ahead and switch which leg you have in front. So if you're in that cross leg or easy position, just switching which leg you have in front. Kind of noticing how that feels. And then from there, let the hands relax and fall down on either side of the hips. Take a breath in again, lengthening the spine. And then exhale, drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Let the chin fall down to the chest. And then bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Chin down to your chest. Right ear, right shoulder. And pause here. Think about reaching into those left fingertips. Maybe open and close the hand. Or circle out the wrist. Dropping the chin down to the chest. Allow the breath to come to the back of the neck. And then bring your left ear to your left shoulder. Keeping your nose pointing forward. Pressing the fingertips down into the mat or circling out the hand. Whatever feels good for you here. Good. Coming back up to the center. This time, tense your fingers, walk them back behind you. Draw the shoulder blades together. Lift the chin up, broadening across the collarbones. If you were with me yesterday, we did lots of heart openings. So remember what that felt like. Pulling the shoulder blades together, lifting your chest, lifting your chin. Come back to center as you exhale. As you inhale, reach your arms all the way up. Exhale, hands through heart center. One more time, walk forward into that forward fold. Relax the back of your neck. Think about spreading your fingers nice and wide here, really grounding down, softening the tops of the shoulders. Inhale, walk your hands back up to center. Take them back behind you one more time, tenting the fingers, drawing the shoulder blades together. Lift your chin up. Finding that openness across the front body. On an exhale, slowly release. As you inhale, interlace your hands or just grab loosely onto your hands. Sit tall, reach your arms up. Seated cow variation. As you exhale, I want you to tuck your spine and round. seated cat. So we're gonna roll through that a few times. Inhale, sit tall, seated cow. You're tipping the pelvis forward. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. Inhale, sit tall, seated cow. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. One more time. Inhale, sit tall, seated cow. Heart lifts. Exhale, tuck and round, seated cat. Good. Release your hands. Go ahead and take your legs, stretch them out in front of you. Come into seated staff pose here. So your hands are going to be just underneath your shoulders. Give a little press into the hands here. So what I want you to think about doing is drawing the shoulder blades down your back. So your neck is nice and long. Again, keeping that good spine alignment. It's almost like you're hovering your glutes just over the mat. So the weight's going to be into your hands. Good. As you exhale, release. Go ahead and step your right foot in towards your glute. Sit nice and tall. You're going to take your left elbow crease or arm, wrap it around that right leg, and turn to look back to the right. Seated spine twist variation. Breathe. Notice how the spine stays engaged here. So we're not collapsing into the low back. We're sitting nice and tall, gazing and looking back. Try to keep that left foot flexed. So the left leg stays active. You're opening up that right side of the chest. Good. As you exhale, release back to center. Take that right leg, cross it over to half lotus. So bringing it to the left hip crease. If that doesn't work out for you, you're just going to pull it to the inner thigh. Sit nice and tall. As you exhale, twist to the left this time. So counter twist, this time opening up the left side of the chest. Again, nice and tall, lengthen through the spine as you breathe in, creating space. Exhale, release from that twist. Sit tall one more time. Left toes are pulling back, and as you exhale, try hinging forward. So some of us might have additional range of motion here through the hamstrings. This might be a little bit more challenging for others. Don't worry about it, but start to feel some length into the back of the thigh. Good. One more breath in, and then exhale, come back to center. Release that right leg. Send it long on the mat. Sit tall. Toes are, or feet are flexed. As you exhale, left foot steps in. Take your right arm, wrap it around, and take that twist to the left side. So left hand tense. Your trunk is going to follow your eyes. So take your eyes with you, then allow your neck to turn, and then the rest of your spine. Sit tall, breathe in. As you exhale, rotating further if it's available to you. One more inhale. As you exhale, come back to center. Half lotus with the left leg. So you're pulling that foot to the opposite hip crease, allowing this knee to relax and fall down to the mat. You can hold on to that left foot if you'd like, or just relax your hand. Go ahead and inhale, lengthen, exhale, twisting to the right this time. Keeping that awareness around the spine. Noticing what your spine is doing in each pose today. Use your exhale, release back to center. Breathe in to lengthen, draw the toes back. Exhale to hinge forward, seated head to knee pose variation. So you don't actually have to bring your head to your knee, you're just moving in that direction. That's the goal, right? Good. One more breath in. As you exhale, come back up to center. Release your legs. Go ahead and cross at the ankles. Plant your hands on your mat and press back to downward facing dog. So sending the sit bones up and back. Invite some movement into your down dog here. So just pedaling out the feet. Seeing what works best for you here. Thinking about lengthening, lifting the sitting bones up and back. Let the heels follow and fall to the mat. Maybe turning your head side to side or up and down. Just allowing the neck to relax. And bringing that awareness back to the spine. So starting at the top of the head, notice what your neck is doing, your middle back, your low back, all the way down to the tailbone. And then notice how your pelvis connects to your spine. You're lifting those sitting bones up and back, letting the legs follow, appreciating the length that your spine gives you and the stability. Eventually settling your feet back in so they're about hips distance apart. Breathing in, head and neck in line with your spine. As you inhale, float your heels. As you exhale, nice and deep, sink the heels low. Softening into the mat. 2 more times. Inhale, float your heels up. Lifting, lengthening. Exhale, sink, melting into the mat. 1 more time. Inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, release down. Good. Go ahead and look forward between your hands. Step your left foot between your hands. Walk your hands around and come to a wide leg forward fold. So you can toe heel your feet out wide if you'd like. A little bit wider than they might be. Toes are going to be slightly turned inward. Use a prop if you need to. Or the other option would be to take a wider stance. So take a wider stance so you're able to bring those hands down. If you can't quite bring them down, use a block or any other prop. I want you to invite some just slight swaying from either toes to heels or side to side. Kind of starting to lengthen the hamstrings, the inner thighs, relaxing the back of the neck. And then allow your weight to shift back towards your heels. If it's available to you, maybe grab opposite ankles here. Let the back of the neck relax. We'll take the right hand to the left foot or lower leg, and then go ahead and inhale your left arm up, twisting from that wide leg fold. Good. As you exhale, release back to center, switch sides. So this time, left hand comes to that right foot or lower leg. Inhale the right arm up to twist. Good. Releasing back to center. Inhale to a flat back. Come to monkey pose. Top of the head is forward. As you do this, try to keep the weight out of your fingertips. So pressing back through the heels again. Belly is in, shoulders draw back. You're breathing. As you exhale, round and fold. Find a micro bend in those knees. Good, and then turn your heels inward. Let your toes come out to the side. Bend your knees and walk up to a squat position here. So modified goddess pose. Hands are going to be on your thighs. I want you to just start to shift and sway a little bit into the knees, kind of lengthening the inner thighs. Starting to breathe into the legs a little bit. And then inhale, bring your arms up, find goddess pose. So elbows are up at shoulder height. Remember in your goddess pose, you're gonna still find that tailbone tucked under. It's gonna allow you to have that awareness around your low back. So you're not dumping into your low back, but instead engaging through that low belly. Good, continuing to breathe here. Holding and breathing. Good, go ahead and inhale, lengthen upward, starfish pose. Exhale, sink down, goddess pose. Inhale, lengthen, starfish, open the hands nice and wide. Exhale, sink down, goddess pose. Good, pausing briefly here. Go ahead and set your hands just on the inside of the knees. On an exhale, drop your left shoulder, turn and gaze back to the right. As you inhale, come up to center. Exhale, dip your right shoulder in. Turn and look back to the left. One more time, inhale, come back to center. Nice and tall, come all the way up. As you exhale, side stretch to the left. Inhale, both arms high. Exhale, side stretch to the right. Inhale, come all the way back up. Exhale, release the hands to heart center. Go ahead and turn and step towards the top of your mat. Come to mountain pose. Bring your hands to heart center. Spread your fingers nice and wide, but ground or press gently into the palms. Blink your eyes closed here. As you inhale, if it's available to you, draw your belly in, tuck your tailbone under, and float your heels. If you need to open your eyes for this, go ahead. Otherwise, take this little balance challenge today. Pulling your belly in. Go ahead and inhale, float your arms up over your head. Eyes can be open or closed, depending on how you're feeling today. Good, let your heels melt down, forward fold as you exhale. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Drop your knees to the mat, lower halfway chaturanga, low push-up. Inhale, lift your heart, baby cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Spread your fingers nice and wide here. Melt the heels towards the earth. Looking forward, walker step to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, big round and fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, sweep all the way up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, sweep, float your heels and pause. So as you do this, soften the shoulders down, pull the belly in. Breathe. Focal points or dristies work well here. As you exhale, melt the heels, forward fold, hands through heart center. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank, Vinyasa series, or press back to down dog. From your toes or your knees, halfway down is chaturanga. Inhale, back bend of your choice. Exhale, downward facing dog, hips high. Looking forward, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, float up, look up. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, sweep, float your heels and hold. Belly in, soften the tops of the shoulders and breathe. Allow yourself to stabilize here as you're floating those heels. As you exhale, melt the heels down, forward fold. Ride the breath down. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank, Vinyasa, or downward facing dog. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Looking forward between the hands, step the left foot through, rise up to warrior two. We're going to stay here for a few breaths in warrior two, so check your leg position. Knee is over the ankle. That front knee is angling towards your baby toe. Continuing to breathe. Good, turn the left palm up. Exhale, reverse warrior. Keep that bend in your front knee. And breathe. Nice and light on your back hand. As you exhale, half moon. Shift your weight onto the front leg. Shift forward, float that back leg up. Good. Release is reverse warrior. So we're going to focus on those transitions. We're going to run through that one more time. So bending into that front knee and breathing. As you exhale, half moon. Shift forward, float the back leg up, opening your heart to the side wall. Good, release, reverse warrior. Keep that bend in the front knee. One more time, exhale, half moon. Good, release, warrior two. Look forward. Exhale, take your hands down to the mat, step back to plank, Vinyasa or downward facing dog. Remember, you can always skip that Vinyasa series and press back to downward facing dog. Looking forward, right foot steps through, Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Look forward over that right hand, check your leg and arm position here, yogis. Your front body is open to the left wall. Soften the tops of the shoulders, reach through the hands. Tuck the tailbone under, spine awareness here. So make sure you're not shifting your shoulders over your pelvis. Shoulders are lined up over your hips. Gaze is over the front hand. Inhale, right palm up. Exhale, reverse warrior. Notice that bend in your front knee. So if you're finding yourself straightening that front knee, settle back in. Light on your back hand. As you exhale, half moon. Shift forward. Lifted foot is flexed. Heart is open to the left wall. Reverse warrior. Release. Open that right side body. As you exhale, half moon. Shift forward. Little balancing today. Good job, yogis. Try to be light on that bottom hand. Release is reverse warrior. Stepping it back gracefully. Last time as you exhale, half moon. Straightening that front knee. Foot is flexed on your lifted leg. Gracefully release, warrior 2. Open it up. Gaze over the front hand. Soften the tops of the shoulders. Windmill your hands down to the mat. Step back to plank, Vinyasa, or skip it and press back to downward facing dog. Take a little breather in down dog. Remember, you're always welcome to come to child's pose or any other resting pose of your choice. Maybe a cleansing breath here. Breathe. Think about rotating those elbow creases towards each other as you spread the fingers nice and wide. So you're engaging around the shoulder girdle. Looking forward, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, round and fold. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Toe heel your feet to touch. Inhale to chair pose, Utkatasana. Again, chest is lifted, spine is long, but tailbone is tucked under, so you're not dumping into your low spine. Sinking the hips back, sink at the hip creases. Knees are not going past your toes here. Powerful pose is its second name. Soften the tops of the shoulders, sink lower. Good. Wide arm twist to the right. Open up. Knees stay in line. Chest is lifted. Keep that spine awareness. Back to center. Powerful pose. Tail tucks. Exhale, wide arm twist to the left. Knees in a line. Chest lifts. Tail tucks. Breathe. Inhale, chair, powerful pose. Exhale, forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step or hop back to plank, Vinyasa, or downward facing dog. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Looking forward, step the right foot through, come up to warrior 1 this time. Hips are square to the front. Exhale, hands down to the mat, step back to plank. Breathe. Good, lower down to your forearms. Inhale your right arm up, come to side arm balance. So you're on your left forearm, shoulder over your elbow. Good, we're gonna barely graze that bottom hip to the floor. So you're gonna lower it and then press back up. 2 more times, lower the hip, press back up. 1 more time, lower, And press. Side arm balance. Come back to the center. This time, set your knees on the mat. Forearm plank from the knees. Try not to collapse that upper back. So see what I did there? Try to think about pressing into that middle back, pulling your belly in. Good. Pop back up to your toes if that's available to you. Come over to your right arm. Side arm balance. Lifting that left side of your pelvis up. We're going to slowly, just barely bring the right hip down, then lift back up, side arm balance. 2 more times, barely coming down, press back up. 1 more time, activating that back body. Press up, holding and pausing, side arm balance. Come back to forearm plank in the center, and then exhale, downward facing dog. Press back up to those straight arms. Looking forward, step your left foot through, come up to warrior 1, second side. Hips are square to the front. Exhale, windmill your hands down to the mat, step it back to plank pose. Exhale to downward facing dog. 2 breaths. Look forward to your hands, walk, step, or hop to the top of your mat, and then have a seat. Find boat pose variation. So remember, lots of options for boat. Breathing, you're picking what works for you. Perfectly fine to be right here as long as you're lengthening your spine. Remember that spine awareness piece. Breathing. Good, we're gonna twist to the right with wide arms. See if you can do that. Feet can be on the floor as well, doesn't matter. Inhale, bring your arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Chest lifts, belly is in. Inhale, boat pose. Exhale, cross at the ankles, step back to plank. Vinyasa, or downward facing dog. Back bend of your choice. Exhale, down dog. Good, inhale to plank. Lower all the way to your tummy. Come to crocodile pose. Stack your hands, turn the toes out to the side. Take a breather. Recall that intention that you set for your practice today. And then just taking a moment to notice how you're feeling. Notice your spine from the top all the way down to the tailbone. Notice the muscles around your spine. Notice how they activate, how they allow you to move swiftly, confidently, with ease or relative ease. Good. Tucking the legs back in so your feet are in line with your hips. Forehead to the mat. Take your arms up overhead if you don't have shoulder troubles. If you do, you're going to let your arms be down at your sides. So we're going to do a variation of locust pose. So head and neck in line with the spine here. As you inhale, I want you to float your arms and your head up just slightly. So notice how I'm not overextending through the neck. Top of the head is forward. Reach through the fingertips. Let the breath flow to your back body. Doesn't matter how high you lift here, yogis. Tops of the feet are on the mat. As you exhale, release. Take a break. If it's available to you, this next round, try floating your hands and your feet. So on your next inhale, lift up. Head and neck again in line with your spine. You're activating around the shoulder girdles, all those muscles that line your spine, and you're breathing. Good. As you exhale, release, turn your opposite cheek to the mat, relax. When you feel ready, make your way over onto your back. once you come to your back, let's send the left leg long, pull the right knee into the chest and tip it towards the left shoulder. You can send that right arm out if you'd like, but feeling a stretch through the glute, the outer hip. If you want to rotate more and come into a spine twist, shift your gaze to the right. That's perfectly fine. Let the breath come to the right side of the trunk, the lower part of your rib cage. Start to slow down your breath again, just like we did at the beginning of the practice today. Bring that knee back into center. Send it up towards the ceiling this time, either grabbing behind your calf or your thigh hamstring stretch. You can rotate the leg or point and flex the foot, whatever feels good to you. Keeping that left leg extended on the mat. Good. Use your exhale to release that leg down. Send the right leg long on the mat. Go ahead and pull the left knee in. Tip it over towards the right shoulder. And then turning your gaze to the left side. This is a good time to blink your eyes closed. Really just returning your focus to your breathing. Keeping in mind how much control you have over your breath and how you can utilize that when you move off of your mat as well. Notice how good it feels to take a complete breath in and out without restriction, without a time frame. Coming back to the center, pull the left knee in, right leg stays long. Go ahead and send that left leg all the way up to the ceiling, finding a little bit of movement into the leg, lengthening the back of the left thigh. Good. As you exhale, go ahead and draw both knees into the chest. Just create a little bit of rounding in the spine, massaging out that low back. And then we'll send the arms down on the mat, send the legs up one at a time. If you have a block, you can just place it underneath your sacrum for unsupported legs up the wall. If you have a wall nearby, you could feel free to get nice and close to the wall with your glutes, and then just send the legs up. Gently flexing the feet, opening the chest. This is a good thing also to do at the end of the day, in the evening time, or even first thing in the morning. This is a very subtle inversion. If you don't have a block, you can also use a pillow or two underneath your sacrum. That can work out well, or even a rolled towel. Take a couple nice long deep breaths here. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the mouth. One more time, nice deep breath in. Exhale, sigh it out. And then slowly releasing your legs. Let's take a full body stretch. So legs are gonna come out, arms reach up over your head, breathing deeply. As you breathe deeply, call to mind something that you're grateful for about yourself. Bring that into your heart. I invite you to keep that with you as you move off of your mats today during this time of uncertainty. Just keeping in mind that you must love yourself first before you can love others and care for others. One more deep breath in. As you exhale, make your way into your final relaxation. Shavasana, corpse pose. Tuck the shoulder blades underneath you. Let your palms be open to the sky. Let your eyelids be heavy and close. Let your mouth and your jaw relax. Your shoulders, your arms be soft. Notice the gentle rise and fall of the belly with each breath. Again, notice you're in control of your breath. noticing your breathing, and then do your best to let go of any thoughts. Just for a few moments, let your mind be at ease, your body still.